Welcome Strategy Battle Gamers to another GBHL YouTube channel video. You're here with your host GBHL James
and GBHL Jamie, and it's part 2 of Minas Tirith.
That's right. So in the last video, in the last video we looked at the heroes. We looked at heroes, and now we're going to give you a chance to look at the troops and discuss the troops. And no better place to start than your standard bog standard warrior. Standard bog standard warrior.
Standard bog standard.
Your bog standard warrior. The Warrior of Minas Tirith. So, let's go for it.
So, points value is reasonably cheap.
Yeah,
it's not on the cheap side of it. It's just it's bang in the middle.
Yeah,
what you'd expect. So they are men. So they're movement 6. Everything in the army's movement 6. They're fight 3, 4+ shoot value, strength 3, defense 5, 1 attack, 1 wound, courage 3.
So pretty standard
just
men.
The standard man profile with armour or heavy armour.
Yeah. But the key thing, again, with these guys, which you can see a lot with what I'm finding with the Minas Tirith list, having a look through, is all the different options that you can give these guys to make them better.
Yeah.
So what options can they take?
So the main ones that you'll see are bow, shield and spear for a point each. Typically these guys are going to be shield and spear, or just shield. One of the two.
Yeah, I think in your meta, as it were, you're probably going to see the front rank with shield and the rear rank with either spear or spear and shield.
Yeah. They can also take a banner for 25 points and a war horn for 20 to increase the army's courage by 1.
Ever worth it, do you think?
I never put it in, but this year I might start doing it because I'm not competing as much this year.
Bit of fun.
Yep. So as a troop by themselves, they used to be a really annoying army to play against because there was defense 6. And you couldn't get through them enough with Mordor orcs. Then strength 4 became prevalent, and they go down like butter.
Yeah, I bet.
Go down like butter. get cut through like butter.
We're out of practice.
They with this book though they gained. Oh, I've got a call. Be right back. So sorry for the cut there. We're about to talk about the Citadel Guard upgrade that came out with the book for the
So
Warriors.
couldn't do this before until this book?
No, not until the book came out. Oh, that's what we should mention in the heroes. Faramir, Madril and Damrod are all woodland creatures.
Oh, right. Okay.
It doesn't say in there, but they were errated to be woodland creatures, which makes them really, really good.
That does make them very, very good.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And that's so that they could lead their Ithilien troops.
Yay!
I remember something. So Ithilien Guard makes the... it's a point to upgrade them to it, but it makes the Warriors of Minas Tirith woodland creatures.
Which is actually very, very useful in the game.
Very useful. And it makes...
More useful than a lot of people think, I think.
Yeah, people go woodland creature, for a point, not worth it. But something when you can run your army back into a wood or through a wood with a hero...
Just run away!
Yeah. But it means that you can make an Ithilien army.
Yep.
You can properly theme it rather than having to go, well, the troops can move through the woods, but my hero's going to go around.
And have we seen many Ithilien themed armies?
I believe, again, Tom Harrison took one.
Damn you, Tom Harrison!
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've seen it used on Faramir quite a lot to catch people by surprise. Because it was errated and not everyone's goes, okay, so that's Faramir. He can't move through that wood, that's fine. And suddenly, 10 inches, hit you with my lance. You're like, oh. Forgot about that, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
That's what you did to me with the Rim Down Lance against Sons of Ale.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Hide in the wood. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that was good. Not! So yeah, really kind of good standard, bog standard troop. I guess the one key thing that kind of lets them down is the fight 3.
Fight 3, but then that's what the standard when they were released was.
Yeah, and there are ways, of course, to buff that up if you so wish to spend the points. Of course, you can use the banner.
Yeah.
That's right. So next up we come to the cavalry option for Minas Tirith, and we've got the Knights of Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're the same points as the Warriors of Minas Tirith, but with the horse pointed on at 6 points.
Yep. And they have the exact same profile. It's literally just the Warrior of Minas Tirith on a horse.
Yep.
But he comes with a lance, so he gets a free lance.
Comes with a lance, which is really good actually.
Yeah.
Really good. And it's one of the things that's missing from, as we'll talk about when we get to the Rohan list, it's actually missing from the Rohan list, a lance profile. And again, lances are quite important in this game.
Yeah.
If you're knocking down and you've got a lance...
Yeah, you're killing on 5s at least.
Yeah, which is quite useful. Also, these guys can take a banner.
25 points.
And they can take a shield, which make them defense 6 might as well.
Yeah.
Defense 6 cavalry. We actually see a few of these guys.
These guys tend
Gondor
to crop up quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
They're really good in small numbers, I reckon. Like, say you have a warband of 10 foot troops, 2 of them, and they can hit the flanks with where the warband hits, and you sort of maximise your killing potential on the ends.
Yeah, I would say that in a lot of Gondor armies that I've seen that are sort of 500, 600 points, you might see five or six of them.
Yeah.
Maybe sort of one every 100 points or something like that. Maybe. So yeah, we do actually see quite a bit of those. Pretty useful. The lance is the key thing there, and also the ability to go to defence 6.
But no Ithilien upgrade for these guys.
No thing.
No woodland creatures for them.
However, that is not true of the next profile, and thank goodness for that, because next up we've got the Rangers of Gondor.
Indeed. So Rangers of Gondor, they gain a nice fight value bonus, fight 4, 3+ shoot value, strength 3, defence 4, 1 attack, 1 wound, courage 3.
They are a little bit more expensive than the Warriors of Minas Tirith, but they do come, of course, with the bow.
They come in with a bow and the fight value 4 upgrade, but lose their heavy armour. So that's the trade-off in war gear, and the point you pay is the fight value.
And they do have a couple of interesting options that they can take.
Yeah, so they can take a spear, which is great if you want to mix your force up a bit. So you get the defence 6 front line, their fight 4 behind, then you get your fight 4 passing on.
And we do see that quite a lot, actually.
Yes, yeah, that's a common tactic.
Yeah.
And they can also be upgraded to woodland creatures for a point. So you can make them a ranger of Ithilien,
Which is again pretty cool.
A nice upgrade.
And I would say that it's definitely worth doing it with those guys, actually.
Yeah, with them, because then you can set up in the wood and move back 3, and you can do the whole skirmish, you think.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty good, and we do see quite a few of those out there because they do give that kind of that range power for Warriors of Minas Tirith. Although Minas Tirith do have another option for that, which nicely, I'm so glad that was the first one on there. I was expecting it to be, and it was. There is another range option for Minas Tirith, and that is the
Citadel Guard.
Woo.
Now we're properly moving on to the elites now. They're the same points as the Ranger of Gondor.
Yeah, these are the elites.
Yeah.
You would kind of say that the Warriors of Minas Tirith and even the Knights to a degree are your standard.
Standard troops, and your Rangers and the Guards start to specialise in something and become your elites. So Citadel Guard, they are same points as the Rangers, basic. They're fight 4 with a 4+ shoot value, strength 3, defence 5, 1 attack, 1 wound, and courage 3.
So again, we've got that fight 4 in there.
Got the fight 4. They come with heavy armour, and they can be given a horse for 6 points, so you can make them into cav. You can give them a spear for a point if you want them on foot. And they can also take a longbow, which, as we mentioned with Beregond, is strength 3 for these guys.
Which is kind of a real kind of key part of this profile, I think.
So the longbow is 2 points, it's 1 point more than a bow, so it is in all effects an elf bow. It takes them up to 10 points, which is kind of pricey, but the strength 3 piercing power against strength 2, I think is worth it.
Yeah. Do we see many of these guys out there?
Unfortunately not, no, because when you give them the longbow and the spear, they cost the same as the next troop type we're going to look at. But these guys are also bodyguarded.
Yeah, which is pretty useful.
Which is nice to
And they are nice miniatures, I think.
They are very nice.
Really, really nice miniatures.
I think I've got a smattering at home.
I think you've got a few of them, yeah. I think we've seen them in...
Oh yeah, it was in the
Deadliest
Warbands. We had the next troops and them.
Yeah. Yeah, because the fact that they can support and that they're fight 4 as well.
Yeah,
You know,
it's the shoot and support role.
Shoot and support role, but maybe a little bit too expensive once you put on the useful upgrades to take regularly. And that takes us on to the creme de la creme.
Yeah, the real elite that should only really appear in small numbers because there aren't that many of them. But you will quite often see a line of 20.
And I'm not surprised because it's the
Guard of the Fountain Court, or GOTFC if you're online.
Yeah. Oh, I spent so much time when I was first getting into the hobby thinking, what is that?
What's Gotfuck?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
And well,
what's CG?
Captain of the White Tower.
Yeah.
Copper? Got no idea what that is. Now this is a good profile.
Very strong profile. Very, very good.
He's got that fight 4, so again a good mannish fight value.
Yeah.
Shoot value 4, that doesn't matter too much. Strength 3, defense 6 starting, which is key.
Very heavy armour.
Very heavy.
Yeah.
They still move at 6 though, so
yeah,
that's right. 1 attack, 1 wound, courage 3, so exactly the same as above with the Citadel Guard.
They come with a spear basic.
Yeah, which is the key. They're basically paying an extra. They're basically paying for the defense 6 for a point and then a spear for a point more than the Citadel Guard.
Yeah.
They can take a banner.
Yeah.
But then we get to the real kind of you don't really see this with men in the game.
No. They can take a shield, which obviously boosts their defense to defense 7. Defense 7 is a real sweet spot because strength 4 from evil wounds you on 6s still. Strength 3 from elven shooting wounds you on 6s. And strength 2 bows wounds you on 6s by 4s. So most armies, well, you can't be wounded by less than a 6.
All of a sudden, they've got dwarven.
Yeah, they've got the dwarven quality to them.
And with them having bodyguard, they're effectively the same then as a castle guard in terms of points.
Yeah.
And they've got that defense 7, so it's not really seen. But then if you attach that to some of the buffs that you can get with Gondor, so let's say you do take the
Let's say you take the banner, they become fight 5, defense 7, then they're matching elves, and they're probably actually going to win that fight overall because of the defense 7.
Yeah, it is a real kind of sweet spot. Have you got many cards on the Fountain Court?
I actually do, yes. Mr. Thomas Macklin bought me 8, and I have some already. So I think I've got a warband worth.
I've got a warband too!
Way.
Woo!
I'll have to get them painted up for some point during the year.
Yeah, that's my plan while I'm not really attending the tournaments is to
just get everything painted.
I try my best. But yeah, the Guard of the Fountain Court are really the kind of top level.
Yeah. If you want to be competitive with a Gondor force, you've got to take Guard of the Fountain Court.
Now the next profile, it's a nice fluffy one, I think, and lovely models.
Very nice models. They came out in metal, and they're not available anymore, are they? No. So
I don't think so.
No. You see a lot of conversions of these with green stuff. Was that a sneeze?
It was kind of a burp / sneeze. It was a bees.
You just turned away and went.
It was a bees.
Right. So it's Osgiliath Veterans. They are 1 point more than the Warriors of Minas Tirith. For the exact same stat line, they get Courage 4 and a free special rule. The special rule is loyal to the captains. So if Faramir or Boromir are within 6 inches,
Within 6 inches,
they receive +1 to their fight value, and that is cumulative with other fight value bonuses.
so they could theoretically go up to
Fight 5. They can take a bow, shield, and spear, so they can reach defense 6. You typically don't see them though, really.
No, because I'm guessing again you probably want your front rank with your shields, and it limits what your hero can do if you've got to keep
your hero. I remember playing against Steve when he had these, and he had Boromir Captain the White Tower, just on horse, and we were fighting, and I think he was picking on my Wozes because they came on deployed badly and taken hold. And he was it's about right. He was absolutely smashing them whilst Boromir was around, just with the regular troops. Then Boromir went off to fight someone else, and suddenly it swung back in the Wozes' favour.
Yeah.
Because then Gon was like, right, I'm the big man now.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, they're very reliant on having Faramir or Boromir around, and because it's within 6 inches. I mean, how often are you playing?
Exactly, yeah.
Especially with those heroes as well.
With those heroes, you typically have them on the flanks, hitting things what you want and threatening things. You don't have them in the middle, standing there fighting with the men. That'd be a captain role.
Yes, yes it would. So, nice models, nice fluffy little rules there. Don't see a lot of them, but lovely models. A shame that there's not more poses, really. And then, in the Gondor troops list, we got to the final 2, which are actually siege equipment.
Yeah. Now, siege equipment, I'm not very good with the rules on.
Neither am I, but we can learn together.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a Battlecry Trebuchet. It's a siege engine.
I have a feeling we have to run away to get what these do. I'll try my best, though.
Yeah, okay, so this is a Trebuchet. It's strength 10.
I know what one of those does.
It's defense 10. It's 4 battle points. And if you want to carry on, I can run and get the rule.
Yeah, you okay.
Read really slow.
Okay, so it's crewed by 3 Warriors of Minas Tirith who wear heavy armour. The fight value of those troops are the same as the Warriors of Minas Tirith. Fight 3 with 4+ shoot value, strength 3, defense 5, 1 attack, 1 wound, courage 3. It's got some special rules. They are indirect fire. A trebuchet always follows the rules for volley fire, giving it a range of 18 inches to 96 inches. Who's got a board that's 96 inches? I'd like to know. Comment below. When firing a trebuchet, follow the rules for siege engines and the main rules with the following exceptions. The trebuchet hits the target on a roll of 4+. If a hit is rolled and the target is a siege target, the shot will hit automatically with no scattering. If the target is a battlefield target, so that's usually troops, or I think it's anything on a cavalry base counts as it as well. Roll on the siege engineer scattered shot instead of following the normal rules for allocating hits with a volley. So on the Siege Engineer scatter chart, on a 1, the opponent gets to pick any model within 6 inches. On a 2 to 5, you have to pick a model within 6 inches to be the new target, and on a 6 you hit what you wanted to hit. So the chances of hitting with siege equipment are pretty slim anyway. It's got an area of an effect with that hit. If the trebuchet scores a hit against a battlefield target, all models within 2 inches of the target take a strength 5 hit. This hit does not kill battlefield targets outright. The initial target will die from the strength 10 hit of the rock landing on it. And it's also got Wall Breaker, which is very never used.
No.
When a trebuchet rolls to wound against a siege target, the controlling player may roll 2 dice and pick the highest. If a wound is caused, roll on the battle chart as normal. And the upgrades it can take, now we've got the book with us, it can take a Minas Tirith Engineer Captain for 75 points, which can be the warband leader. So that essentially just gives it a captain profile without any gear, 2 might, 1 will, 1 fate, and its might can be used to influence the chart of things.
Well done, you got that right.
Yeah. It's got superior construction, which I have no idea what that does.
This siege engine is a masterpiece in engineering. I know this one. Granting it enhanced range, this siege engine has a range of 60 inches instead of 48 inches.
Well, that's wasted because indirect fire means its max range is 96 inches anyway. So you'd never take that with your siege engine.
Okay.
Flaming ammunition. Now I think, does this let you re-roll the dice against siege targets?
Reroll any to wound rolls of a 1.
Oh, of a 1. Damn it. Siege Veterans. No idea. I feel like we should shoot twice or something. I don't know.
If a siege engine crewed by siege veterans successfully hits a siege target, the controlling player may roll 2 dice to wound it, not 1, and apply the highest result. To receive this bonus, all crew must have the siege veteran's skill.
Okay, well it's got that anyways. It's very special rule, Wall Breaker. So irrelevant. Don't pay for that, and don't pay for superior construction.
Wow.
Wasted options. And you can take additional Warrior Minas Tirith crew for 7 point siege. You're very rarely going to see these on the table.
No. When have you seen? Have you seen a trebuchet?
I've not seen a trebuchet used personally in my many years of playing.
Although interestingly, I did notice when I was first getting into the hobby that there were reasonably sought after models on the trade forum, if I remember
it's
right.
Probably because they're expensive from GW, so if someone's got one and they don't use it, you can trade it away for stuff that you don't want, so you have to pay the cash for it.
Yeah, I used to see that quite a bit, but yeah, I have never ever seen. I don't think I've seen any siege. I think I might have seen JT Noble take a. Was that versus you? Was it versus you?
No, that was versus Jay, the Dwarven Blister.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was versus Jay.
That was it.
We were watching that game.
Yes, we did.
And the last in the Warriors book is the Avenger Bolt Thrower, which was used. I wouldn't say a lot, but it was used before warbands. And now Smaug's around, you might see it again.
I was going to say this. With Smaug around, all of a sudden you might see a few more siege things.
I might just take a siege. Maybe. In sort of the mid-table armies, maybe. But I doubt if you're going to compete, you would take one.
No,
it'll hinder you against too much.
Yeah.
So the Avenger Bolt Thrower, it's got a strength of 7, defense of 10, and 3 battle points. It's crewed by 2 Warriors of Minas Tirith with heavy armour, who are the exact same as the previous crewmen. You can take an Engineer Captain. It's got an upgrade for Swift Reload.
Swift Reload, I know this one. When firing a siege engine with this upgrade, the player rolls 2d6 and chooses the highest result to determine the number of shots fired.
Which is very, very good, because it's a strength 7 hit. Flaming Ammunition, which we mentioned earlier. Siege Veterans, which we mentioned earlier. Additional crew. It's got short range, so an Avenger Bolt Thrower has a range of 24 inches rather than the normal 48. So it's alright. Rapid Fire. An Avenger Bolt Thrower fires d6 shots per turn rather than 1. Resolve each shot individually rolling as a hit to scatter and to wound before proceeding with the next shot. Shots from an Avenger Bolt Thrower do not kill battlefield targets outright, nor knock them to the ground. Usual restrictions on targeting apply. In addition, the second and following shots must be targeted at models within 3 inches of the first target. Oh, that's interesting. It's not so good against Smaug anymore then. It must be at models within 3 inches of the first target. Does that mean you can target the same model again, do you reckon?
And the second fellowship must be targeted within 3 inches. I'm not so sure. It, obviously, because it's such an important thing,
Yeah.
And it needs to be community FAQ'd.
Damien! We'll send you that one. And it's accurate, so instead of scattering 6 inches away from a battlefield target, it only goes 3, which is pretty decent because then you can reliably hit a battle line. Yeah.
So D6, I mean, it's the fact that you've got to roll D6. I think you would probably take.
It takes swift reload.
It's worth it to roll 2
To roll
dice.
2d6, pick your highest. See, that way if you roll a 1, hopefully the other dice isn't a 1 as well.
Yeah.
You get more shots.
You don't want to be snake eyes in that roll.
No.
So that takes us to the end of. How many points are they, by the way? Are we going to see them?
No. Oh, you might see an Avenger Bolt Thrower because it's got some good uses.
It's not that expensive, I suppose. It's it's like a captain with a bunch of gear, isn't it?
Yeah.
With a bunch of gear. It's like a low to mid-level hero. Something
it's
like
like a basic Faramir.
Yeah.
Or an Avenger Bolt Thrower. What would you rather have?
We didn't tell them what Faramir.
Faramir.
What's going wrong with me? What's happening? So that takes us to the end of the Warriors of Minas Tirith troops out of the book, and that takes us to the end of talking about Gondor.
Yeah, finally.
So hopefully you guys got lots of painting done during that, and we will be back when we talk about the fiefdoms list, the fiefdoms heroes, and probably get the troops in on the same video.
Yeah.
In that instance. So guys, make sure that you, as always, comment, like, share and subscribe.
Support your Hobbit hobby and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
And as always, happy strategy battle gaming.